Okay, good morning, everyone. We are doing another Summa Social training, and we're going to go back to the fundamentals. Good morning, this is Donna Newman. I have been asked many a times at the top of this week exactly how do I do this and how do I understand how to invite friends and how what's the difference between a news feed and that being for my personal profile versus my business page. Well, I'm gonna knock off some of those fundamental questions for you. This is a brand new ebook that I put together later last week, to the point of these fundamentals that you really just need to do once, and then always know that you've got a solid foundation as you're starting in Facebook marketing. So to that point, we've got a 9-point simple checklist. And we are going to use this to help you jumpstart your Facebook page. Because really, when you think about Facebook marketing, when you think about marketing in general, marketing is all about really positioning yourself so that your brand can be seen in the best of light, in the quickest of fashion, so that there's a very strong call to action that's intentional on the behalf of the customer or your end user. So, speaking specifically to Facebook marketing, when it's done right, it can increase your leads, attract highly targeted prospects, and really position you as a thought leader within your industry, not only to your consumer, but also to your colleagues. Yet, of course, to reap these business building benefits, our team, Summa Social, we've identified these 9 gut check actions so that once you've set them up, you have established a vibrant community and you can build upon a successful foundation. So the very first one that we're going to be heading into is checking out your About section. This is a fundamental oversight that most people do, and this is where having a personal profile on Facebook plays a very nice segue to your business page. As we all know, whenever we do business, so often, at least in my own experience and what I watch in my clients, they choose me to do business with, and they love what Summa Social does, but I'm the point of entry, and I suspect it's no different for your business. So that's why it's so valuable to have a personal profile on Facebook, because people love to talk with people. They like to shake the hand of a person that they feel that they can know, they like, they trust. And then, of course, they love the strength of the backbone that a business structure provides. So here on your personal profile, you're going to see an About area whereby it lists your title, and then it gives you an opportunity to link to a business page. However, what so happens, because this isn't intentional that you do when you first set up for Facebook, what happens is that link takes you to a generic literal suitcase page, and then it lands somebody on a page where they have no ability to follow up with you. So when you want to change this hyperlink up here, Outperformers International is the name of his business page, whereby he has a full call to action on what he does, the benefits he adds to people who hire him, and how to contact him. You go in and click on your About tab. It refreshes to a page that allows you to choose that specific business that you work at. You then choose a drop down, type in the exact title of your business page, click submit, and it will refresh, allowing your personal profile to be connected to your business page. And again, this is all about having that nice quality of branding between your personal and your business. Just like I've written down here, Facebook's got a really great soft sell. So when you place that hot link in your Facebook personal profile that links over to your business page, you are really allowing them to better grab what are the exact bullet points for how you can benefit your consumer should they choose to hire you. And this is a very easy process to do. You can also click on that About tab to go ahead and put in any additional information, what your hobbies are, what your nonprofits are, what your specialties are. If you're a speaker, if you're a realtor, do you engage in traditional real estate? Do you specialize in a local community? Do you have a farm? If you're an author, then you could put in your niche of what you specialize in. Maybe it's women's studies, maybe it's dating, whatever that genre is that you write about. And then also remember that all the words you put into your about section, they kind of function is two purposes. First, it's a great way to break the ice. People really get an opportunity to learn, what does he represent? What does he stand for? What's the kind of quality of a character of a person is he? But then it's also playing out to that SEO. But that's more internally when it comes to Facebook, whereby some of those content words that you put in there can function as a keyword to pull you up higher in the search results of Facebook, should someone be choosing to search for your area of expertise. Second, let's look at adding keywords, links, calls to action, all within your about section of your title. Now, this is your business page. On the last slide, we were on your personal profile. So on your business page, you have an opportunity underneath your cover banner, and in this case, the profile picture, to be able to have a layout. This layout is contingent upon one of the 6 categories that you set your business page up in. So in her case, she set it up as an author, and she set it up as an individual, and she's not a street fund business. So this is what the layout is for her. It allows us to put in hot links. It allows us to put in keywords. But what I always encourage a client to do is to start off with a hot link, because that is a nice call to action, but it also lets the user, the reader, know exactly where they can find more content about you. So this links out to her business page. It could also link to your custom Facebook page. And then I put that 30-second elevator pitch, because we all need to have that just on the tip of our tongues. So here she's an author. The title of her book is Bathsheba Bathed in Grace, How 8 Scandalous Women Changed the World. And then we put a little call to action that's a teaser, free excerpt to whet your appetite. So they know they can get the free excerpt on her website. But then also when they click on the about, they're going to find that there is a loaded up profile full of keywords, full of links out to her other social platforms, to her other book links, to Amazon. She has a link to PayPal if someone wants to just buy it straight off of the About section. She also has an ability to have someone download her free chapter excerpt. And those are important calls to action, but that's also an opportunity for her with those keywords to have that exact profile pulled up in a search engine. An example is about 2.5 years ago, one of our clients was a 13-year-old singer. And she was just debuting 3 new albums, and we had an opportunity to work with her on her social media, on the design of her website, and then also a lot of her community management content. So we had put in our About section of our business page, we had put her name, exactly the titles of her albums, and a mini description of what that album was relative to how we had influenced the outcome: a swell in fans, a swell in influence, and more sales. Well, the interesting thing was someone actually was searching her name out on the internet and found our About section on Facebook as the 3rd option in the top 8 options on Google. And they clicked on us, realizing that what they did for a colleague of theirs, we could also do for them. So for us, it was a great way to demonstrate through a name what we did for a singer, a young singer. But in this case, it was one of her colleagues looking, and we were able to make that as a conversion. So anytime you can put keywords that are unique inside of your About tab, they certainly will generate more interest. They will allow more of your content to reach the search engines, and you very well could make a conversion. And then we look at a timeline. A timeline's pretty important because that's the power of the first impression. Now, kind of a word about this. When people first come to your business page, this is what they see. It's like the front door, or it's the yard, the front yard that people first see. They draw up an immediate impression of who you are, and then from there, they can go down to your applications, to your wall postings. But this is the signature that you never want to overlook. So here is where you're going to want to be able to take advantage of having, what does she do? What does he do? What's the specialty? And how can I get more information? Now, just kind of a word about that. There are some limitations on what you can put on there. You can't put all the phone numbers and strong call to actions like you get 20% off when you buy this brand. Facebook's really regimenting what you can put on there. But this is a typical platform that you can do. You can put her slogan. And in this case, for Chris Anderson, we had put this on her personal profile. She's got a business page for her Kissing Frog. She's a new debut author as of a year and a half ago. And she's also one of the top real estate agents over at RE/MAX within the state of Arizona. And she specializes also in Canada. So here we've merged the two worlds so that when they come to her personal profile, and she also adds this to her email signature, they have an opportunity to see that she's a real estate specialist, but she's also an author. So sometimes when she's going out on a listing presentation, she's got an opportunity because people have checked her out. You know, they have. They've got an opportunity to have a little bit of an icebreaker with her. Oh my goodness, you're an author too, or you know all about dating. We've got teenage daughters. And then she can provide some giggles, smooth the transition, build the trust, and they start to get to know her for her character. As well, she does sell some books. So it's a pretty cool transition. But this is an opportunity for her to brand her personal with her business, and she puts this on her personal profile to allow herself to stand out in those two industries. So after you've uploaded that cover banner, it doesn't just go to the top of your page. It also then nests within your photograph album. And you know it is true with photograph albums. People go from one picture to the next picture to cyber stalking, and they just keep going. And one of the beautiful things about having a photograph album is that you not only have the image in there, but then you can put a caption. Caption is so important because if I'm going through and I see, like this example, I see summasocial.com, leapfrog your competition. Well, I'm kind of wondering, how do they do that? Or what does that mean? And it's social media marketing for my success, but how do I get in touch with them? I'm kind of intrigued. So then go ahead and put a caption on the right-hand side within each of your photos that are important. Now, not every one might be important, but this one is important, so that something like this: audiences love Donna Newman's interactive approach, etc. She and her team have a complete line of products, services, workshops, consulting to keep your social media performance focused, on track, and delivering results. So for a consumer, they've got a strong takeaway with what the breadth of our influence is and what the outcome of working with us can be. And then they have our call to action. So this is something I'd really encourage you to do. And if you want to just model this example, put a little introduction to what you do, then put the benefits, put the breadth, put your influence. If you're a realtor, I would go ahead and focus on what sections of the valley you have, because again, think of keywords and think of your influence when you're talking about it. Not that I'm the number one real estate agent, but that you are influential and you know the areas of A, B, and C, etc. And that will really help people feel comfortable in being able to size up what your capabilities are relative to what their needs are. And then we look at a profile pic. A profile pic is right underneath that cover banner. And in the beginning here, I was showing you with Les Taylor in the About section from his personal profile. And then I was showing you Carol Cook in reference to the About section from her business page. Well, that's what this is. Here we have a couple of different layouts that I wanted to show you. Sometimes you're going to want an icon, and that would maybe be your business. If you're an author, you might feature the cover of your book. Oftentimes, again, as a real estate agent, you are leading yourself as your personal brand. So having a real quality, engaging headshot is probably one of the best presentations. Or in this case, with Chris Anderson and your Premier team, she is a team, even though she is the team leader. She puts in her entire team, and this application, this profile pic is so important because this follows every single thing you do when it comes to any action on Facebook. So anytime you're commenting within the newsfeed, anytime that you're liking something, maybe you're originating a comment on the wall, maybe you're liking an event that you're going to join, this avatar or this profile pic will actually stamp your comment so that people have an opportunity to click on it and follow you right back to your personal profile or to your business profile. So this is a pretty important engagement. And then sometimes, like up at the top, we have a special event, oftentimes on Fridays, and we call it Fan Friday, where we feature one of our fans, one of our clients, something that they've done in the sphere of social media that's really influential. Maybe you could feature one of your Fan Fridays. I know Carol Cook oftentimes on her profile wall, she'll feature some of the influential authors that have played a big role in her development. Chris will actually feature some of her properties. And then we have a dentist who sometimes features some of the children who have transitioned from having those metal braces to that of having the slimy teeth and just the beautiful, pristine smile. So if you have a special event, I'd encourage you to create a celebration, maybe one day a week, whereby you change out your icon, which is your profile pic, and allow that single day to be directed towards either that special event or that special person that you want to engage with. And then we look at application images, and this is pretty important because remember, it's the image that really speaks volumes compared to all of the words. So here's some of the things that we want to keep in mind when we're looking at image covers. And then backing up real quick, you've got your cover banner on your business page, and then immediately underneath that on the left-hand side, you've got your profile picture. On the right side, just scoot it over from the profile picture, you have 4 applications. The first one is fixed, and that's photos, followed by 3 optional ones that you could load up and customize the text, and you can also load up an original image. So pretty important because these 4 are stationary, or they're always seen. And then there's a drop-down arrow to the right, which appears right about here to the right of this house, that if you have additional applications, a user will see the arrow with a number, they can click on it and then go into other applications that will appear in a drop-down menu. But this is where on these titles, you want to go ahead and use buzzwords because this is going to entice someone to want to click on it. And if you emphasize the value that they're going to get or a strong urgency that they could lose if they don't click on it, then you have a chance to be able to get their attention. Also, the images, pretty important here if you create a mental image for a reader that will really enhance their understanding, their memory of you, the lasting impression of you. And sometimes you might want to go ahead and put some words in capitalization, sometimes using exclamation points. You can also put stars in here, anything to stand out that models your brand. So a couple of examples are from our business page, we've got free ebooks and tools because everybody wants to understand the fundamentals of being successful. This is where I have my speaker page, and a lot of enterprise clients will go there to look to see what's the breadth of what her topics are. Does her specialty meet our needs as we're going into social media marketing? There's some testimonials on that page. And then here we've got specific strategies that allow people to click in, and relative to the early stages of developing a successful social media mastery, we've then highlighted specific books that they should follow through and read, or videos to watch. Then we look at an author, and really a good idea with an author is to be able to create, like this one in the middle, an engaging question. Need a good read? Well, who wouldn't want a good read, especially if it's the industry or the genre you're looking at. So here we've got a photograph of the cover of her book, and then a beautiful woman who is the author, but it also gives you an opportunity to be engaged. And then the choice of colors there too, that makes all the difference. Videos, this author is actually very prolific when it comes to engaging, reading monologues from her book, giving insights. And then kind of another industry, different industry, is a map. This is a real estate agent, and behind this cover, buyers and sellers, they have an entire layout of specific ebooks for buyers, specific ebooks for sellers. For buyers, she's got all of these links relative to her niche industry of neighborhoods, and then an open search for MLS. And then on the right-hand side, it's simply an open search that allows a user to go in and customize if they want 2 bedrooms, 3 baths in a certain neighborhood, certain part of the city, etc. So bottom line here, you really want to make sure that when you're putting together these applications, the 3 to the right of the photo album, that you do it in an enticing manner, and that you get your product or your service out there, but you engage it with a strong title, with an image that's going to cause people to click on it. And then we turn to a question that I often get, and I got this twice yesterday. Somebody was literally calling me up in a group call, and everybody was kind of struggling with what exactly do I post again, Donna? What do I say? And sometimes it just appears to be so elementary of what to say exactly on social media that people struggle with it. So I've got 7 questions that I want to ask you, that when you have a specific answer to each of them, you're going to begin to identify the umbrella and then the exact benefits that you give to your end user. And when you identify this category and the exact benefits, do it in the format of images, do it in the format of keywords, and then from there, you'll go ahead and put specific images, and maybe a blog you'll write, maybe you'll do a specific video, and all of that content is what is feeding the search engines so that you get found. And a word to that, the whole reason we have a constant content strategy in the first place is twofold. First, there's the science. The science behind it is, when people are looking to buy a product or a service nowadays, they are first going to the internet. And when they go to the internet, they are looking for content. So they're looking at a search engine. Sometimes that's YouTube, Bing, Yahoo, Google. But Bing, Yahoo, Google, and YouTube are going to their inventory of content to match up the keywords that the user has put within the search engine. And then that's your job. So you get to provide the content, whether it's an image, a video, or it's text. And when you match it up with what keywords you have a pretty good idea that your end user is searching for, you will be pulled up to the top of the search engines. So then the whole exercise of these 7 questions is to be able to get you more organic SEO. The second reason we're having a content strategy is because you need relationships. Relationships are really at the core of every transaction. When you build a strong relationship with your fan base, they want to talk with you, and they can't imagine a day without you. And then they want to tell their friends about you. So they are your raving referral base. So remember, that's the art, and then there's the science of the SEO. So to that end goal, we're going to talk about what type of content would my target audience most like, comment on, or share. Do my posts educate? Do they engage? Or do they entertain? And sometimes on this second one, they're going to do all three. Sometimes you're going to have each post be specifically dedicated to one or two of those and not all three. Am I following an engaging schedule of daily themes? Sometimes when I have a chance to be able to work really unified with clients, we can actually determine what's Monday going to look like. And there's an author that we do Monday Monologue, and she takes the opportunity to get on a video talking a little bit about a key point that she's realized some of the women in her influence are struggling with. She identifies that key point, goes back to her book as the text, reads the monologue about what Bathsheba did, and then she poses a question. And this engaging format has gotten her a lot of followers who say, oh my goodness, I can't wait for next Monday. But then if you're a real estate agent, if you're going into your neighborhood and you are maybe you're driving in your car and you've got the gorilla wrap around your video camera and your review mirror, and you're talking about what is a short sale like, or the market now is better than it's ever been. What does that look like to you? And you talk a little bit about it. People want to know an answer to what they hear out on the mainstream. Is the market really good? Where is the best place to buy? If I'm a Canadian investor, where should I look? And you don't want to give all the answers away, but you certainly want to intrigue people that you are the expert of your industry. Fourth, have I automated my daily posts with Summa Social's Post and Leap? And Post and Leap is a great dashboard on the back of our system whereby you can schedule all of your Facebook posts that syndicate over to Twitter. And then in one sitting, you can put up your text, your link, your photo, identify the time that you want it to go out, which of your business pages you want it to stamp. And then once it's in there, you've got an opportunity to not have to worry about what content, when is it going out, oops, I forgot, because it will stamp your wall at that regular convenient time. Then you get to focus on the art, which is you're developing that rapport, you're following up with your clients as the fans are liking and commenting. Like and comment back on their contribution to your wall post so that you can build engagement and then eventually have them take the opportunity to buy your book, hire you as a realtor, come in for that free cleaning, and take advantage of your offers. Fifth, am I using photos, links, videos to accompany text updates? This is where if you've got an opportunity to watch anybody as kind of over their shoulder when they're looking at their news feed, you realize that they are very quick to scan the text, but they stop when they see a photograph. Or sometimes they click on a video, sometimes they click on a link, but they always halt when it comes to a photograph. So when you can put an engaging photograph on your wall with just limited text, you've got an opportunity to really stop people in their newsfeed and get a like. Sometimes they'll comment, but you will get a like. And I watch that time and time again as I'm sitting at all these basketball games with my kids and people are checking up Facebook and I'm realizing, I'm doing a little research and it's all about the photographs. That really is the number one seller when it comes to items being used on your business page. And then we look at, do I continually add keywords or keyword phrases within my posts to feed the search engines? And this is where you definitely want to be engaging when it comes to the content and you want to be conversational. That's the art. And then again, there's always a science behind why you're doing what you're doing in marketing. So the science is, what are my keywords? Is it the title of my book? Is it the neighborhood where I serve as a real estate agent? Is it going to be the name of my community? Is it going to be the city? Is it going to be white teeth, clean teeth, bright teeth? What is it that's going to allow my exact Facebook post to pull up in the search engine results? And then finally, how often do I tag friends or pages to spread the content virally? Too often when we post on Facebook, we post to our limited sphere of fans. And if you really want to really explode and go beyond the sphere of influence that you have with those fans, you want to take advantage of anybody in that picture, in that video, or who would benefit from your post. And if you're friends with them, you can ad tag them, and then they are hyperlinked within your post, or they are hyperlinked within your photo or video. This allows your exact post to go on their wall if they approve it, and then their friends, once they approve it, have a chance to see it through your friend's newsfeed. So now you're not only affecting your fan base, but you're going out of Spoke or that next ring of influence, and you've got a chance to be able to bless, benefit, influence, inspire people with your craft. And then we look up branding. And this is a great video, by the way. If you haven't had an opportunity to check this out, this gives you exact tactics for how to offer your fans content that they can't get anywhere else, that allows you to be the sole source. So a couple of things, 3 ideas that you really want to look at when you're doing that posting that we just talked about. You want to look first at cutting through the noise of Facebook. And this is where you're going to be able to identify the content that you offer is original, and it's where nobody else can get it. Maybe you're talking about your book and you're talking about relationships. Maybe you're giving little vignettes from your book. Maybe it's in video form. Maybe it's an excerpt. Maybe it's basic tips. We have a dentist who goes on and sometimes does videos about how best to floss your kids' teeth. How can kids best floss their teeth without the help of mom or dad? And he and she, they give you specific tactics to do it. You get to either watch them in a video or you see them in a photograph. And that's how you cut through the noise of Facebook. And you're not one more thing that they are having in their newsfeed, but it's something that they want to stop and look at. And then second, engagement to build lasting relationships. And when you go back to really understanding the answer to those 7 questions, then you know your audience, and your audience is much smaller than appealing to the world or appealing to everybody, because you don't need everybody as your client or as your customer. You just need those intentional people who are really going to appreciate a great read, an excellent service when it comes to buying or listing their home, or a fabulous teeth cleaning that's extremely thorough and makes their kids feel comfortable. And then finally, amplification. This is where when you're ad tagging, maybe another business page, or you are ad tagging your friends inside of your wall post, or you're going over to their business page. Maybe it's through your newsfeed, your business page newsfeed, or your personal profile newsfeed. And this gives you a chance to be able to take an interest in what their content is, so that you can build a brand and a rapport within their community. That, again, there's a science, because you want to bring more people over that are intentionally interested in you. But then, of course, there's an art. You want to develop lasting relationships and be a sphere of influence. And then we look at commenting. This is one of my favorite cartoonists, and it really speaks to sometimes what we've had even in our own boardroom. And so often I see deer in headlights looks when it comes to my clients, and they look at, okay, here's our sales, and this is where we want to be, but how am I going to get there? And it's really a dotted line, because there's no straight answer. So sales and all these guys are just drop dead, mouth is open. Okay, so what if our video doesn't go viral? What happens then? So this is where, whenever you're posting content in anything with social media, you really want to look at your communication as both that double sided of the coin. You want to look at the art and the science. And I always say it's the art, because a like goes a long way when people like what you have. But when someone comments on exactly what you're doing, that's to their credit, because you can see the comments with their profile pic and the exact comment. But then you are building a rapport with them. You're realizing that they're taking an interest in in engaging and building a relationship. Maybe it's as simple as they are posting a birthday wish on your wall, or maybe they are following up and they're responding to a property picture that you put of a gorgeous backyard, and you'd say, wow, I wish I had a backyard like that. And then you could say, well, you can. Would you be interested maybe in a walkthrough? I can give you a private tour, etc. So whenever inside of the conversation, you can begin not just to like their comment or like the main comment, but to comment within that wall post. You're building a relationship, but you're also giving an opportunity where you get to know them a little bit, to know if they might be interested in utilizing you as a service, a brand, and buying your product. And then, of course, I always say a science, because when you engage with people through the visual comment, the share, the at tagging, then you can strategically and then also statistically increase the visibility of your content to not only the target audience of your fan base, but to their fan base, because birds of a feather flock together. When you've got a business that you value, then more than likely the quality of clients, customers, end users that they're attracting would appreciate working with you, and vice versa. So by engaging with your friends and your fans, you really shore up those weak ties of engagement, and you become more word of mouth, as well as you build a really strong personal brand. And that brings us to our final. Here, this is where I want to make sure that when you have an opportunity to join us every week on our webinars, some of these are going to be elementary. Some of these are going to be specific to a platform, like in this case, Facebook. Other times we talk about Pinterest. Sometimes we talk about how to get your YouTube reach with that specific video by adding keywords, and I walk you through exactly how to do it. But every time that you have a chance to join a webinar, we want to make sure that it's worth your time, and it's oftentimes specific to questions that we've gotten earlier in the week. So if you ever have a question that you're interested in having an answer to, feel free to either send me a private message on Facebook, post on our wall, post on my personal profile, send me an email, or when you're joining us for our webinars, feel free to post it in the question box. But thanks, everybody. We sure appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day and look forward to following up with you.